video is a social experiment brought to you by I know even with this precursor, some of you won't get it and will do exactly as you're subconsciously instructed. Those of the higher level will get it and move on. With that said, please enjoy and consider the following.
Oh, sorry, my bad, I forgot I was recording. Hello ladies and gentlemen, I am the Black Creon, and for whatever ungodly reason, YouTube decided to put the titles beneath the video. So, you know what, screw it, why don't we just put the titles at the end of the DVD, or hell, put the title of books at the end of the book. Brilliant idea, brilliant. You're using that noodle, I can see, but now it's time to have a nice, smooth as silk segue, because other people that are using their noodle in the most asinine, backwards of ways would be the Sonic fanbase, because I don't get how you guys can buy the same regurgitated, repetitive, redundant crap over and over and over again, year in, year out, generation after generation, console after console, without fail. You guys will go out and you will go to your stores, you will go on Amazon.com or whatever medium of social buying you may go out and do in the marketplace, but you will find a way to pick up the next Sonic game. And it all started with this. You remember the old days. Sonic the Hedgehog, Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Sonic the Hedgehog 3, Sonic and Knuckles, Sonic 3 Blast, Sonic Spinball, Dr. Mean Bean Machine, Dr. Robotnik Town. Look, most of these games were all press right to win. Not saying the games were bad, but they were the same thing over and over again with different music, different stages, all having you start off on a beach, etc., etc. The similarities are almost endless. The gameplay is the same. There is no innovation. There's nothing creative. It's just like playing Call of Duty or Madden every year at that point. And sure, they tried to step outside of the comfort zone and liven up the gameplay, but the games were complete and utter flops. They flopped harder than the Cleveland Cavaliers after LeBron James had left their team. That's how hard they flopped. Look at my face. You could tell how serious I am. But with that said, sure, you know, a lot of Sonic fans might be like, oh, but Sonic, yeah, maybe it was 2D and did the same thing, but it was fun. Well, that's the same logic the Call of Duty frag heads follow. But then some of you might say, well, it wasn't always 2D. Maybe we have some other options. Did you ever think about Half-Life Klingon? Oh, did you ever think of that? Well, yeah, I did think of that, and that's what brings me to my next point. You guys had a brilliant series known as the Sonic Adventure series that's only really spawned 2 games, starting off on the Dreamcast, as you can see in my hand right here, and being remade as Sonic Adventure DX. This right here, not a bad game. It was okay. You know, it had, you know, your chow and all that stuff. And, you know, it was actually seemed like the Sonic place was going to go places. It was actually going to do something. Actually, it was going to be the next big thing. And then you have this game, which is a glitchy piece of AIDS that just kind of walked in right out of a walrus anuses and just tossed itself into the brigade of gaming. It was terrible. So many glitches. Look at my channel if you don't believe me on the glitches. With that said, Sonic fans, why? Why are you fans of this guy? I don't understand. It's the same thing. It's the same regurgitated 3D. Use the homing attack to progress to the next stage. And some of you thinking,
every single Sonic game isn't the same. You're not always doing the homing attack in a 3D Sonic game. Oh yeah?
Well, let's look at Sonic Adventure 2. Oh, you have twice the homing attack power here. Look, it's Sonic and Shadow, pretty much doing the exact same thing in pretty much the exact same scenarios with recycled boss fights. Come on, where's the innovation here, guys? And some of you may even go on as far to say, hey, but we had Knuckles and Rouge and other characters. Pretty much the same characters doing the same things. One's good, one's evil. They each have counterparts moving forward. Now, with that said, Sonic Adventure 2 was just Sonic Adventure 1 without adventure stages. Woolly-rah-rah-ree, right? And with that said, you know, the Sonic fan base has taken a lot from the Dragon Ball Z franchise, you know, with the whole 7 Chaos Emeralds, 7 Dragon Balls, going Super Saiyan, going Super Sonic, having your counterparts who's just like you in almost every way, but he's always a dark, emo son of a gun, and Shadow Vegeta, then having the one from the future who has the white hair, Trunks, you know, Silver Hedgehog, but all those counterparts and, you know, little connections between the lines there have already been made by other people, so let's move forward. Now, Sonic has had a multitude just a cavalcade of horrible, horrendous, stupendous, outrageously bad games. Look at Sonic Labyrinth, look at Sonic 3D Blast, look at Sonic 06, and the biggest piece of nuclear aids to ever grace the history of video games. The biggest left testicle to ever implode and explode on a GameCube, known as Sonic Heroes. That, by far, might be the worst video game in the history of the whole Sonic fan base. The whole Sonic franchise! That is everything that's wrong with gaming in that game right there. Sonic Heroes. Sonic 06 was bad, but Sonic Heroes had no excuse. That had the development time and had everything that it needed to culminate into a good game, but it flopped. I mean, I'm sorry, that thing sucked more than Kim Kardashian and all of her sisters combined. Boom. Blew your mind. But with that said, moving forward, I don't understand. Sonic fans, it's the same thing. It's either hold right to win in all your 2D games and do the homing attack in your 3D games. Sonic Generations found a good way to combine both of them with a nonsensical story, but it's Sonic the Hedgehog, so I can't really hold you guys to a story. And let's face it, man, Sonic is nothing more than a bum. Doesn't have a house, he's living off of other people every time you see him, he's always asking for favors, and for the most part, sure, he saves the world, but that's about it. Otherwise, he's an all-around bum. Woo! But with that said, a lot of you guys might be saying, but hey, he's got Sonic Unleashed, are you going to talk about that game? Yeah, I am. See, more homing attack. More of the same old regurgitated gameplay that you've been doing since Sonic Adventure. Okay? Same stuff going on here. But if you wanted to play the rated E version of God of War, you can flip it over to the night side and you got that too. That's about as much as innovation as they're going to get. And don't get me wrong, some people are going to say, but Sonic Colors was innovative, right? Well, Sonic Colors was pretty innovative if, what's that game? Oh yeah, that's right, Super Mario Galaxy didn't already exist and already do pretty much the same thing, just better. Come on, Sonic fans. What is there? What is the appeal to these games? What is there? I don't understand how you can do the same thing over and over and over and over and over again and it not be anything different or special in the long run. So maybe you guys, I don't know, maybe you guys just like repetitiveness. I don't understand. You got an anorexic guy who apparently is just a bum, living off other people, man, his bisexualness, kicking in, always running away from women. Some of you are going to bring up, but what about Sally? Well, given the circumstances, he really didn't have much of a choice at that point. And, yeah. That's all I got right now. I mean, Sonic fans, I don't know what it is, but y'all, same thing, every game, and it's ridiculous. It totally is. Paying $60 to do the same thing you did last generation.